Breathwork changed my life, now I'll help you change yours. In 2013, my world was turned upside down when my partner was murdered. I was thrown into grief, a place I never expected to be. The last decade plus has been a journey of healing, learning what works and what doesn't. Also how to rebuild from the darkest of places. I founded Verity Jo Breathwork, a method designed to make healing simple and accessible, and now I train facilitators to share this transformative practice globally. Welcome to The Dark Side with Verity, the podcast where we get real about transformation, growth, and stepping into your strength. Let's dive in. Welcome back to The Dark Side with Verity. We are here with another episode, another story. I taught breathwork after hitting rock bottom and what that changed for me. This is why healing is going to continue to happen. So the thing, continue showing up for yourself. Let's do that right now with a breath. So getting cozy, getting comfy, whatever that looks like for you. Settling in, let's take our breathe. A big inhale through the nose and let it go through the mouth. Big inhale as you smell the roses and blow out your candle. One more big inhale, roll the shoulders back and a full release through the mouth. Let's begin. This fallacy of needing to be healed before you show up for other people. I mean, if nothing ever bad was going to happen again, sure, this could be your thing, but we have life and people are going to die, our kids are going to grow, things are going to happen, our boss is going to be mean to us, whatever it is, stuff is going to continue. So you do not need to be fully healed before you show up for somebody else. Because, okay, imagine your best friend is going through a crisis, she's going through a breakup, you're also going through a breakup. You can still support each other in your mess, correct? Or one of the greatest things about getting older and having a best friend that you're just super honest with all the time is that in the month, we don't live in the same state. So we can have a phone call with each other. And I know that's her week of boom, she's rock bottom. Everything is the worst possible. And then she's on the up when I'm about to go down. Every month we support each other through this roller coaster of a journey called life. And you know those friends that you can just tell anything to, you can send the real ugly face photos to. We often joke, and I really think we should do this one day, just making a book of all of our text messages and our journey of life over the past 10 plus years, because those roller coaster moments, this is probably where the dark side really shines through, because we just laugh through them all. We laugh at each other, we support each other, we cry together. So it's totally possible to support people when you're not fully healed, because no one's ever going to be fully healed. But you can be there, showing up, laughing, being so human with each other. Just going to give her a little shout out today because she's actually running a marathon. How absolutely ridiculously cool is that? Running and training for a marathon. So I'm very proud of her. I think running teaches you a lot, doesn't it? My running journey, I laugh because I'm this forever on the comeback. I'll have a couple of months which it feels amazing. I love it. The furthest I've ever run is 16 Ks. Pretty proud of that. And I remember calling my mum. In my mind, I was saying to her, can you please bring me some water? Because I didn't really think I was that much of a runner at that point in time that I needed a water bottle belt vest. And I don't like drinking out of taps. So I called her. I think she almost called the ambulance. In my mind, I was just meet me over the yellow bridge. She was in her car coming to collect me off the floor of the road. I think that's what she thought in her mind. I obviously was a bit dramatic at the time because, if you ever run 16 Ks, it was a lot. I don't know if I'll ever do it again. Also because my massage, it's a massage, but it's a very torturous, intense healing massage that I have over here. I've been having these massages for the past 12 years and there's nobody else like him. It is so painful. You have bruises if you have really big blood blockages, but it's well worth the pain. He said to me, why are you so painful? I'm like, the last 9 months or however long I hadn't been back to Bali, I've been in so much pain. And I said, I think it's from running. He's like, you need to stop running. And this is then someone just says these things to you at that right point in time. You need to stop running. You need to stop running from life. As he's grinding on my calf muscle, my thigh and my hip and my back and my shoulder, it's all connected, right, from running. Tears just stream down my face. I'm like, you're right. I do need to give up running. Not really what he meant, was it? But that's how I've taken it. So maybe my running career is over. I'm not quite sure yet. There may be another comeback. Is it one of those things that in a lifetime you need to complete a marathon? When I say marathon, I still think a half marathon is a marathon. So it's all in the marathon running. So I'm super proud of her. She's running a marathon, whether it's half or not, doesn't matter. It's still a marathon race. So even if she crosses the finish line, gets dragged across the finish line, or her husband piggybacks her, whatever, still done a marathon, completed it. So proud. Back to the actual purpose of this podcast. When I had been through one of the most horrendous moments in my life, no one had died. It was a moment in time where something horrendous had happened. Someone that I was in love with was very horrible, or had done some really horrible things to me. My heart was broken. I was sad. I actually never thought that people would or could be this cruel. And do I blame them? No. They were also hurt. I was hurt. It was just that hurt people phase. And I still had to work. I had to run an event, hold space for 20 people in a breathwork session, and my heart was hurting. I felt humiliated because they tried to, send messages to everybody about me. And because I was really in survival mode that time, I was terrified, I was scared, I was hurt, I was broken. And so I thought that people knowing my past, which now I've told you all, so there's nothing, everybody knows everything now, and I don't carry shame, whereas back then I had shame around it because I was horrified that I'd done these things. And that allowed somebody to have power over me. And it's a really shitty space to be in, because although I was going through my stuff, there was a part of me that knew in that moment that I was here for a bigger reason, to show up and support all of these other people. So prior to me arriving at the event, I had to do my own deep breathe. I had to run myself through all of my own practices. And then when I stood up in front of everybody else, all of my own stuff disappeared. And this is not dissociation or maybe a little bit of compartmentalizing, because I still had stuff to deal with after, because it happened quite recent on that day. But I was able just to be fully present in that moment. And there's so much power in that. I'm not saying everyone needs to show up in those moments. I could have quite easily postponed to another day if I needed. I'm also very capable of doing that now. Maybe years ago I wouldn't have. I would have been no, I have to do all this now. I've promised these people, because there was still an aspect of people pleasing and maybe not choosing myself. But the power in being of service to other people in this moment was life-changing, because I knew that although that morning I felt like I wanted to die, I knew that I was capable of so much more in that moment. I knew that even though I had so much going on in the background. And like, nothing's ever going to be perfect. Like, I'm not perfect. My life is not perfect. All of the scenarios weren't perfect leading up to this. But I still showed up for all of these people. And on that day, 20 people's lives were transformed and changed. Like, pretty life-changing, right? And so, do you need to be fully healed to be a facilitator? No. It's why I have my own coaches, my own community of people who, my facilitators, like I ask my facilitators to put me through a breathe because I'm not above needing deep breathes. Goodness, I need them lots. But it just goes to show that there are moments in life where even though you've got so much stuff going on, you're able to rise above your own shit. And you realize that it's like having to do a speech or a talk. You realize it's not about you. All of your insecurities, all of your stuff like floats away because as soon as you're in flow talking about something that you're passionate about, that you're teaching people and that's meaningful, you don't care what you look like, clearly. You don't care how you show up because as soon as you get your message across, that's all that matters. Nobody else is looking if your eyebrows crooked, if your head's like this, or if your teeth are not straight. Nobody else cares about that stuff but you. In my events, I get people to do eye gazing. And so I get them to sit cross-legged, knees touching. I get them to breathe together and stare into each other's eyes. And yes, the first bit, like people will giggle, they'll like be uncomfortable because it is, right? Because it's all your own shit. When you're looking into somebody else's eyes, you're like, oh, this is weird. This is awkward. Oh, what am I looking at? Am I looking at this eye or that eye? Oh, are they looking at my nose? Oh, what are they thinking? Like, we're so in our own heads. That's why when people, like, oh, are they judging me? Probably not. They're probably still judging themselves. So this exercise, when you're looking into somebody else's eyes, as I'm guiding the event and people through this process, I say to them, like, that's all your own stuff. And that does dissipate. I promise. Because when you can breathe into your belly and just show up and hold space for somebody else, you also start to see past their exterior. You get to go deeper into their heart space, into their soul, and realize that whatever they've been through in this lifetime, whatever they've experienced, they're just human, showing up, doing the best they know how with the tools that they have at the time. In that moment, people who are doing this practice will understand how important it is to hold space, how important it is for that person in front of them to feel seen. And I don't mean seen on the exterior, like seen in their heart. Seen for the human that they are deep within. Not what they look like, not what the clothes they're wearing, not what they've done in their past, right there in that very moment, who they are. That is the power. And in that moment, that's what I experienced, like teaching these 20 people. All of my stuff, my hands, went away. And I was just able to be there to support these beautiful humans in that moment in time in their life. Like that is why. That is the power of realizing that you're here for something bigger than your own chaos in that moment. Because everything does get better. After the event, when I was able to bring my body back and my nervous system back and get myself out of survival mode, I realised that maybe I wasn't in that much danger anymore. Maybe the things that this person was saying to me, like, they're never about us, are they? It's, people are projecting. It means that they were hurt in that moment. It means that whatever they're saying is generally how they feel about themselves. And that's the good but also tough part about healing, is you just have so much compassion for everybody else. Because if they can see that in somebody else, It means that it's within them. And that's a confronting part, right? When you maybe get into a new relationship and that person becomes a mirror, it shows all the stuff that you need to work on. And so if you both do the work, amazing. It's going to work out. If one person refuses, the other person can do all the work in the world. It's never going to make a difference because that person is still stuck in that space of projection and never actually doing their own internal work to reflect back and be like, oh, this is where I need to work. This is what I need to heal. And there's no like bad. We've all got stuff to heal and we forever will. So when you're choosing a partner, it's like the willingness to both do the work, because it can't just be one person going off and doing all their own work and the other person's like, no, but it's you. So in that space, it just gets to be, it's beautiful. It's why I get so excited about this stuff, because we're forever learning, we're forever growing, and we're forever finding things that can be worked out or healed or feel more spacious within our body. And that's the fun part. And that's why healing doesn't have to be hard, or the stuff that you've done or you feel shame or guilt around doesn't hold so much weight as you think it does in the beginning. Because when it's out in the open, said and done, and you've healed and forgiven yourself and others around you, it feels light and easy. So every tough time, you find this like golden glimmer of light that, okay, there's a reason why this happened. It taught me that I could show up even in the hard times. Not like I felt like I needed to learn that again, but I did. And I overcame it. And that means I know that each and every one of you can too. Ciao for now.
That's a wrap for this episode of The Dark Side with Verity. I trust it's given you clarity, sparked awareness, and allowed you to breathe a little deeper, plus a little takeaway to integrate into your life. If this has resonated, I'd love you to leave a 5-star review, of course. More importantly, I would love you to share this with someone who's on their journey and needs a little bit of assistance. Come hang out with me over at Instagram at Verity Jo Coonan or The Dark Side with Verity, or start to explore Vidya Breathwork at verityjocoonan.co. Until next time, breathe deep, trust the process, and keep expanding. Much love.